Welcome to the lecture, Directive Principles of State Policy. Directive Principles of State Policy are enumerated in part 4 of the Constitution of India, from Article 36 to Article 51. And the framers of the Constitution borrowed the idea of directive principles from the Irish Constitution, which had copied it from Spanish Constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar described those principles as novel features of the Indian Constitution. The directive principles and the fundamental rights both contain the philosophy of the Indian Constitution. And Granville Austin has described the directive principles and the fundamental rights as the conscience of the Constitution. Okay. Features of directive principles. 5 features are here. The first one is state should keep in mind while formulating policy. So these directive principles must be kept in the mind of the policy makers should keep in mind the the directives given in the Constitution. So these are the constitutional instruction or recommendation to the state in legislative, executive, and administrative matters. Uh, so the second feature is uh, the directive principles have a similarity with the instrument of instructions enumerated in the Government of India Act of 1935. So in the uh, instrument of instruction, which were issued to the Governor General and to the governors of the colonies uh, of India during the British period, and when the same structure is incorporated in the Constitution, uh, it has it has a major difference. That is, this directive principles is both having an instructions to both legislature and executive. The third feature is that the directive principles constitute a very comprehensive economic, social, and political program for a modern democratic state. The aim at realizing the high ideals of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity as outlined in the preamble to the Constitution. The fourth feature is that directive principles are not justiciable. They are not legally enforceable by courts for their violation. Uh, the citizen can't compel the state to do the, something which is based on the directives given by the Constitution, but it is the Constitution itself, Article 37 says that these principles are fundamental in the governance of the country, and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles while making laws. And fifth feature is that directive principles, though non-justiciable in nature, help the courts in examining and determining the constitutional validity of a law. The Supreme Court has ruled many times that in determining the constitutionality of any law, if a court finds that law in question seeks to give effect to a directive principle, it may consider such law to be reasonable in relation to Article 14 or Article 19. That means the six freedoms, and thus save such law from unconstitutionality. So ഡയറക്റ്റീവ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പിൾസിനെ നമുക്ക് ഒരു കോടതി മുഖാന്തരം നേടിയെടുക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്ന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു സിറ്റിസണിന് അതിന്റെ വയലേഷൻ ഉണ്ടായി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് നേടിയെടുക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്ന ഒന്നല്ല. അതേസമയം ഡയറക്റ്റീവ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പിൾസിന്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന നിയമങ്ങൾ ഫണ്ടമെന്റൽ റൈറ്റ്സിന്റെ വയലേഷനായി വരികയാണെങ്കിൽ ഈവൻ സുപ്രീം കോടതിക്ക് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ജുഡീഷ്യൽ സംവിധാനത്തിൽ തന്നെ അതിനെ കറക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ജുഡീഷ്യൽ റിവ്യൂ ഉപയോഗിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് അതിനെ കറക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു പ്രൊവിഷൻ ഉള്ളതിനാൽ സാധാരണഗതിയിൽ പൗരന്മാരുടെ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഫണ്ടമെന്റൽ റൈറ്റ്സിന്റെ വയലേഷൻ ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന തരത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു പോളിസി മേക്കിംഗ് ഉണ്ടാകുന്നില്ല എന്നുള്ളതും പ്രധാനമാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഒരു ഡയറക്റ്റീവ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പിൾസ് ഒരു ഫിലോസഫി ആയി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ഡയറക്ഷൻസ് ആയി നിലനിൽക്കുന്നിടത്തോളം സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന നിയമങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു ഫണ്ടമെന്റൽ റൈറ്റ്സിനെ കൂടി മാനിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നിയമങ്ങൾ നിർമ്മിക്കുക എന്നുള്ള ഒരു ഡയറക്ഷൻസ് ആയി DPSP നിലനിൽക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ളതാണ് മറ്റൊരു പ്രത്യേകത. Okay, so directive principles at a glance, we can look at the uh, articles. So first article 36 defines state. Article 37 says directive principles of state policy is not enforceable in court. And Article 38, state shall secure social order for promotion of welfare of people. Article 39, state shall regulate the ownership and control of the means of production, prevent concentration of wealth, ensure equitable distribution of wealth. And Article 39A says equal justice and stands for equal justice and free legal aid. And Article 40 says for the organization of village panchayat. Article 41, right to work, education, public assistance in case of unemployment, old age, sickness, etc. Article 42, just and humane conditions of work and maternity relief. Article 43, living wages, promotion of cottage industry. Article 43A, participation of workers in management. Article 44, provisions for uniform civil code for the citizens. Article 45, provision for early childhood care and education to children below 6 years. And Article 46, promotion of educational and economic interest of SC, STs and weaker sections. And Article 47, to raise the level of nutrition, prohibition of liquor and intoxicating drugs. Article 48, organization of agriculture and animal husbandry. Article 48A, protection of environment, forest and wildlife. Article 49, protection of monuments and places of national importance. Article 50, separation of judiciary from executive. And Article 51, promotion of international peace and security. There are a few other articles which are related to the uh, directive principles, but it is not in the part 4. It is outside of the part 4. So other directive principles of state policies are article in article 335. It says the consideration of claims of SCs and STs in government jobs in part 16. And in part 17, two articles are there, article 350A and 351. Article 350A says it shall be the endeavor of every state and local authority within the state to provide adequate facilities for instruction in the mother tongue at the primary stage of education to children belonging to linguistic minority. Linguistic minority പെട്ടവർക്ക് അവരുടെ പ്രൈമറി സ്കൂളിങ്ങിൽ മാതൃഭാഷ തന്നെ ഉപയോഗിക്കണം, അതിനുള്ള റൈറ്റ് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നുള്ള, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിനുള്ള സാഹചര്യം ഫെസിലിറ്റീസ് പ്രൊവൈഡ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ 350A. ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ 351 says it shall be the duty of the union to promote the spread of the Hindi language and to develop it so that it may serve as a medium of expression for the all elements of the composite culture of India. അപ്പം ഒരു കോമ്പോസിറ്റ് കൾച്ചറിൽ മിക്കവാറും ഒരു കോമൺ ലാംഗ്വേജ് എന്ന രീതിയിൽ ഹിന്ദിയെ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യണം, ഹിന്ദിക്ക് ഒരു പ്രാധാന്യം കൊടുക്കണം, ഹിന്ദി ലാംഗ്വേജിനെ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലുള്ള ഒരു ആർട്ടിക്കിളാണ്, ഡയറക്ഷനാണ് ആർട്ടിക്കിൾ 351. Okay. The directive principles of state policy can be classified under 3 categories. One under socialistic principles, and another one is Gandhian principles, and third one is liberal or liberal and intellectual principles. But in the constitution, there is no a kind of classification is not there in the directive principles part. But based on its content and principles, it is classified as under 3 categories. So in the socialistic principles, the principles reflect the ideology of socialism. They lay down the framework of democratic socialistic state, aim to providing social economic justice and set the path towards welfare state. They direct the state to promote the welfare of the people by securing a social order permitted by justice, social, economic, and political, and to minimize inequalities in income, status, facilities, and opportunities. And that is in Article 38. In Article 39, to secure the right to adequate means of livelihood for all citizens, the equitable distribution of material resources of the community for the common good, prevention of concentration of wealth and means of production, equal pay for equal work for men and women, preservation of the health and strength of workers, children against possible abuse, and opportunities for healthy development of children, etc. are coming under Article 39. Is also a uh, part of socialistic principle to promote equal justice and to provide free legal aid to poor in Article 39A, to secure the right to work, to education, to public assistance in case of unemployment, old age, sickness, and uh, disablement in Article 41, to make provision for just and humane conditions for work and maternity relief in Article 42, to secure a living wage, a decent standard of life, and social and cultural opportunities for all workers in Article 43, to take steps to secure the participation of workers in the management of industries in Article 43A, to raise the level of nutrition and the standard of living of people, to improve public health in Article 47. So these articles are also come under the category of socialistic principles. We can find a few articles under the category of Gandhian principles. They are Article 40, 43, 46, 47, and 48. Article 40 says to organize village panchayats and endow them with necessary powers and authority to enable them to function as units of self-government. Article 43 says to stand for to promote cottage industries on an individual or cooperation basis in rural areas. Article 46 deals with to the promotion to promote the educational and economic interest of SCs, STs, and other weaker sections of the society, and to protect them from social injustice and exploitation. And Article 47 to prohibit the consumption of intoxicating drinks and drugs which are injurious to health. And finally, Article 48 to prohibit the slaughter of calves and other milch-draught cattle to improve their breeds. Also come under Article 48, Organization of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry. So these articles are closely related with the Gandhian principles. Finally, liberal and intellectual principles. The principles included in this category represent the ideology of liberalism. First one, Article 44, and second is Article 44, and then 48, 48A, 49, 50, and 51. So in Article 44, secure for all citizens a uniform civil code throughout the country, and Article 45 to provide early childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years. Article 48 to organize agriculture and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines. Article 48A to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard forest and wildlife. And Article 49 to protect monuments, places, and objects of artistic or historic interest which are declared to be of national importance. And Article 50 to separate the judiciary from executive in the public service of the state. And finally, Article 51 to promote international peace and security and maintain just and honorable relation between nations, to foster respect for international law and treaty obligations, and to encourage settlement of international disputes by arbitration. So these are the articles related with the liberal intellectual principles of the Constitution. So all these directive principles stands stand for the establishment of a welfare state, and also is a socialistic uh, or economically equal uh, economical principles with equal distribution. So it also a best, we can see that these directives are a best part of uh, directions based on the human rights perspectives. So many of the provisions are very closely related to the human rights perspectives of the makers of the Constitution. Okay, okay, thank you.